I am not a self-improvement YouTuber. I'm not a cult leader. And I'm certainly not some fitness guru or mental health guru or anything like that. I'm just a guy trying to spread some positive vibes on the internet. I can help you possibly, but ultimately I'm here improving myself, and I'd like to take you on the journey. And this isn't self-improvement, it's just improvement. Masculinity. A very convoluted term nowadays. Some people say it's made up, we don't need it. Some people say it's essential. The truth is somewhere in the middle, Chief. Because what is positive masculinity? To be positively masculine, what does that mean, Chief? You know, it's a shame, because I think to be a man nowadays is a very hard archetype to fit into, because what does that even mean? You're told that being a man is bad, that being masculine is bad, terrible. You're told to repress it. Male suicides are going up every day. But so's the advice to be in touch with your feelings, be more feminine. However, on the other side of things, we have these masculine gurus, these red pillars, these cult leaders, telling you to be a certain way, giving you an archetype of masculinity, some of it possibly very healthy, some of it not so much, telling you exactly how to act and exactly how to be, making you less of a man but more of a robot, an NPC. And suddenly we have men with extremist views, whose idea of masculinity is so individual that they are alone. Maybe it helps them get women, but their view on women is like this archetype, this box they put them into. And they put themselves into a separate box, and everything has to be this certain way, and it's all so robotic. People aren't robotic, Chief. People are people. People are complex, different. If you're not authentic, it doesn't matter how masculine you want to be, that's going to come across. Those people you follow, those leaders that preach masculinity, the reason why they are so successful is because that way of life is authentic to them. If you try and copy that blueprint exactly, you're going to be fucking yourself, and not in a good way. I can't help myself. Can I just take a minute? It's a beautiful day, and I just want to say I'm so grateful for this. I'm so grateful for the beautiful sun, the trees, and the pond behind me. Be grateful for your environment, even if it's windy, cold, whatever. Because the human brain is naturally unappreciative. Stop the video right now and say things you're grateful for, even if you don't want to. Trust me, you'll thank me later. So am I saying masculinity is pointless? No. Masculinity is a real energy, it's a real thing. And if it's authentic to you, then yes, definitely you should pursue it. But there are blueprints, there are things that are usually identified with masculinity. But past that, you can add your own seasoning to it, Chief. You don't have to follow every last rule. It's not a guide on how to live, on how to be yourself. Who can tell you how to be yourself but yourself, Chief? Positive masculinity, where's that? Because I'm sick of men being told that they are bad. Because yes, there are some terrible men out there, and I understand it. If I was a woman, I'd probably feel the same way, yeah? But it's okay to be a man, and not only that, sometimes it's necessary. We need a balance of energy in the world, feminine and masculine. We just need differences in the world. We need different people. And not only is it okay to be a man, Chief, but if you can do it right, it's good. You can bring people up, and you can add to your community. You can be useful. Positive masculinity. It just means in my personal opinion, and if you want to take something from this and add it to yourself, please do. Positive masculinity is just being the most valuable you can be as a man, and while being authentic to yourself. To be loving, to be caring, to be stoic, to be ambitious, to be useful, to be powerful, sure, but not in a toxic way. In a positive way, in a healthy way. To understand the privileges you hold and use them to provide for yourself, if you want, for other people. To provide value. It's not about marrying a woman and making sure that she never works again. That is something I'd potentially want to do, but that's not because I think that's how it should be. That's just what I'd like to do. It's about providing value. Just that, providing value to yourself and to others. And that's what it means to be a good human being. Forget masculinity. And I want to address a common misconception, stoicism. A stereotypical and what I associate with a strong masculine man, a positively masculine man, not a red-pilled freak, a robot. Stoicism. Because men are told nowadays to always feel and be emotional, and I'm not saying being toxic when I say this, but there are times where that's just not the case. If you're always emotional and you let your emotions rule you, you will get nowhere, not because that's a feminine trait, because emotions are inconsistent, chief. They don't last, and they are powerful, and a lot of the time for the wrong reasons. If you use emotions to dictate your actions all the time, you will be flip-flopping from topic to topic. You will be chaotic, and you will go ultimately nowhere. What you need is stoicism, pragmatism, and to use this over this. To listen to this, to acknowledge this, but ultimately to use this in your actions and choices. That's stoicism. Not to repress your emotions, not to bottle up your emotions. To acknowledge them inwardly, but ultimately not let them control you. You can feel as strongly as you want to feel, but the choices you choose are based on what you think is the best option. And if you need to use your emotions sometimes, like anger going behind a workout or a confrontation, you choose how much of that you use. Stoicism takes years to master. I'm nowhere near mastering it. But if you can, it's the most valuable trait of a human being and of positive masculinity. Because in a lot of these self-improvement, self-help YouTubers, whatever they're preaching, whether it be masculinity or whatever, it's all very selfish. The value you are trying to build is purely on yourself. And I know we're selfish creatures, but it's paradoxical, because if you're only focused on yourself, if you're only focused on inwards, you won't get much from the outside world, because everyone's focused on themselves. Be interested in people. Be interested in providing value to people. Because if you can do that, you will get your rewards. You will get your value towards yourself. I think someone's car alarm's going off, by the way. It's always when I'm trying to record a video. The best men are the ones that bring out the best in others, that are supportive, that provide, that tell you how it is, that ultimately want you to improve. You know, I didn't see my first idea, my first example of positive masculinity until I was 18 years old. 18 years of my life. No example of masculinity, no example of what a positive and good man should be. I was either told that men are bad, or I was shown the negatives of what men can do. 18 years of my life. That's unacceptable. Fatherless households create the most crime and antisocial behaviour. That is a statistic. The man that I met when I was 18 wasn't even my own dad, it was my partner at the time's dad, and he brought something out of me. He lit a fire under me that's still going to this day. and how he is in life, how he goes about his life, how he lives. Loving, in touch with his emotions, but he is positively masculine, he's strong, he's stoic, disciplined, successful. "18 years of my life, I didn't even know what to call it when I met him. I just thought he was a good guy. Thought he was impressive. I didn't even know really what masculinity was, and I still really don't. Because if you're sat there preaching on YouTube claiming you know all the answers to masculinity, you're a fool. Never listen to people who think they know too much, Chief. Because idiots are the ones that think they are clever. I know so little. I'm just preaching what I do know, and I'm happy to be told otherwise. The idiots online who act like they have the answer to everything, like they're the next Jesus or Gandhi, those are the ones that are corrupted, because how can you possibly have the answer to everything? Especially with such a broad topic of masculinity. Such a blanket term. You want me to put it simple for you, Chief? You want to be positively masculine? Work on yourself always, of course. Just focus on improvement. Focus on being stoic, pragmatic, loving, caring, and ultimately be valuable. And do this all while being authentic to yourself. And don't let anyone else tell you how to be yourself, as long as it's not hurting other people, as long as it's not hurting yourself, and as long as you're growing and learning. And taking in the world around you more than you're taking in your own inner monologue. As long as you're doing that, you're doing positive masculinity right. So, take that. Provide value. Share this to someone if they need to see it. And ultimately, Chief, say less and do more. See you later.